You're tired. You pray, you cry, you ask Allah, when will things change? Why am I always alone? Why is nothing happening in my life? And yet, something, right now, is moving in the invisible. This message is no coincidence. You're not just getting married. You're about to change your life. What you're about to hear may be the answer you've been waiting for months. Allah has heard you. Prepare yourself. One more. If you are here, it is not by chance. Why did you stumble upon this video? You didn't wake up this morning expecting to hear this. But here you are, listening to these words, your heart racing a little faster than usual, as if a part of you knew this message was meant for you. And that's no coincidence. You looked for signs, you asked for them, sometimes even insistently. You spoke to Allah in your moments of anguish. You hoped for a word, a direction, a relief. Perhaps even proof that you weren't dreaming or forcing something that wasn't meant for you. And now you hear exactly what you've been keeping in the silence of your heart. You're going to get married, and you're going to move. This isn't an empty promise. It's a spiritual announcement. Not from a man, but from a change that comes down to you from heaven. The shocking thing is, you can't explain why you're feeling this way. This isn't new information. You already knew marriage was in your future. You knew moving could happen. And yet, right now, you feel a different vibration, as if your soul is recognizing divine timing. But ask yourself this question: why does this topic resonate so strongly with you? Because you're ready. Not perfect, not totally prepared, but deep down, you're ready to make the switch. You've gone through stages, closed doors, and painful periods of waiting. And deep down you know, this wasn't a punishment. It was a repositioning. Perhaps you've been attached for a long time to people who were never meant to stay. Perhaps you believed love would come from a place, a group, a project that was ultimately removed from your life. But look closely. Each loss has cleared your path. Each silence has aligned you. Each rejection has isolated you to better refocus you. This message is not here to flatter you. It is here to wake you up. You don't need to force things. You don't need to convince anyone. If Allah wants to unite you with a person, He will place that person in your path in a way that you cannot dispute. And if He wants you to leave one place and resettle somewhere else, no human obstacle will be able to stop that move. What you feel now, this warmth in your chest, this kind of calm mixed with anticipation, is not a passing emotion. It is a response. Not in the form you imagined, but in the depth you needed. There is nothing more powerful than the feeling of being seen by Allah. This message, this moment, this realization, all of it was orchestrated, not by us, by Him too. Your union is already taking shape, even if you don't see anything happening. You may think nothing is happening, that your emotional life is a desert, that your efforts are ignored, your invocation suspended in an echoless sky, but let me tell you one thing: Allah's silence is never abandonment. What you believe to be empty waiting is actually a hidden, precise, divinely orchestrated work. Do you know why you haven't met this person yet? Because all that is real doesn't rush. There are purifications you must go through before entering into a relationship that God wants to be pure. Not a decorative relationship, not a relationship built on urgency or appearances. A relationship that will elevate you. And this elevation begins long before the encounter. It begins with you. Perhaps you are in the process of readjusting yourself internally. You are learning to detach yourself, to no longer cling to what has hurt you. You are learning to make room for a love that will not be there to fill, but to complete. It's a different process. And that's why it takes a long time. You haven't been forgotten. You've been booked. You're not late. You're in the preparation phase. And this phase is so strategic that if you skip it, you risk ruining everything. The wedding you're waiting for, Allah doesn't just want to give it to you. He wants you to be able to carry it. Because yes, getting married is about receiving, but it's also about taking on a mission. You become responsible for the peace of another soul. You become the bearer of a sacred trust. And that requires a built heart, not just a hurried one. The day this person enters your life, you'll understand why it didn't work out with anyone else. You'll see that no prayer was ignored, even the ones you forgot. Everything was noted, placed, and timed. And Allah leaves nothing to chance. Just because you feel nothing doesn't mean God isn't doing anything. He's working in what you don't see. He's preparing two paths, two hearts, two homes. And one day, these two straight lines will cross. Not too soon, not too late. Just at the moment when your soul will know how to welcome without fear, love without doubt, and stay without fleeing. This moment exists. It is written. It is secure. Nothing and no one can undo it. Not your past, not your mistakes, not your fears. If Allah has decided to unite you with a particular soul, that decision is more stable than all the uncertainties of this world. You don't have to run, you just have to keep moving forward with confidence. The connection you're waiting for may already be praying for you, right here, right now, and they don't even know it's you. 3. When Allah moves you, it means that your time here is over. Sometimes it's not your heart that's too heavy. It's the place that's too narrow. You may be living in a place where you feel suffocated. Nothing changes. You're going around in circles. Relationships stagnate. You feel like you're not growing, like your soul is slowly fading into a routine that no longer makes sense. You wonder if the problem is you, but the truth is that certain seasons of your life require a change of place, not a change of you. And when Allah wants to elevate you, He often begins by uprooting you, not to punish you, to reposition you. There are cities that have seen you fall, but will never see you rise again. Houses that have witnessed your tears, but are not meant to contain your peace. People who have surrounded you, but never knew how to see you. And then, slowly, Allah begins to pull you away. He creates discomfort, blockages, situations that no longer resemble you. You feel that you no longer belong here, not out of arrogance, but because your soul has surpassed that level. The journey isn't always physical at first. It's your mind that travels first. You dream elsewhere. You feel the call of renewal. And the more you ignore this call, the more you feel compressed. As if your own environment is becoming alien to your being. But you know what holds you back most often? It's not the fear of leaving. It's the guilt of leaving behind. You say to yourself, but I built here. I loved here. I struggled here. And Allah responds by showing you that no building is worth your stagnation, that no attachment is beyond His will for you. What you leave behind, He can replace. What you lose, He can multiply. But what you refuse to leave behind out of fear can become what holds you back from your destiny. You weren't created to stay still. You were formed to move, to grow, to build, to share. And sometimes your impact can't happen where you are. There are people waiting for your voice, your energy, your faith, in another place. There are opportunities you'll never find as long as you remain attached to what you know. The place you're leaving isn't necessarily bad, but it has fulfilled its role in your story. And staying any longer could cause you to miss out on what Allah truly wants to do with you. What if, instead of resisting, you accepted that this feeling of no longer being in your place is in reality a divine invitation to move? When Allah decides to move a soul, it means that the rest cannot be written here. There is a place, elsewhere, where you will breathe differently, where you will encounter what you have never imagined, and perhaps who you have never imagined. 4. When Allah speaks, it is not always with words. What you're waiting for, you may believe will come through a clear dream, a clear message, a significant event. But often, that's not how spiritual reality works. When Allah wants you to understand that change is coming, whether it's a marriage, a move, or a new phase, He does so through signs that only attentive hearts grasp. You may have already felt this shift. You wake up one morning, and everything that seemed logical to you yesterday no longer makes sense. You no longer feel the same desires, the same connections, the same goals. You didn't choose to change, but something has changed within you, quietly, without show. And that's when the divine work begins to appear. Allah doesn't shout to be heard. He makes you feel what you can't ignore. That strange calm that pushes you to distance yourself from certain people. That feeling that your place is shifting when nothing has changed outwardly yet. Those encounters that fall right when you're thinking of giving up. Those words you hear in a video, in a reminder, in a conversation, and that strike your heart as if someone were responding exactly to your inner thoughts. But the problem is, you doubt yourself. You think, maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe I want to believe it too much. And yet, these impressions return. You're alone, but you feel a presence. You haven't spoken to anyone, but you receive a response. You're not doing anything new, and yet, something is calling you. It's not an illusion. It's Allah who shapes your intuition. He never abandons you in the unknown. He guides you from within. What if you stopped looking for external evidence and finally listened to what your heart is already telling you? Sometimes Allah's confirmations are so silent that they go unnoticed. Except for those who live in consciousness. You won't hear voices. You won't see writing in the sky, but you will feel a gradual shift. Doors closing without explanation. Projects dying for no reason. People drifting away as if they were no longer meant to be there. None of this is random. It's cleansing. Celestial sorting. What you think is loss is actually liberation. And if you pay attention, you'll also see the other side. The small openings that begin to appear. A sudden peace. A clarity you weren't expecting. An inner stability in the midst of a world that's still unclear. This is how Allah confirms to you that you are no longer in the season of before. You are in motion. You are changing. What you feel today, what you cannot explain but also cannot deny, is proof that something has been triggered. And this something does not come from you. It is beyond you, and it comes from above. 5. You're asking a lot, but are you really ready? You want a blessed marriage. You want a stable home. You want a fresh start. You want that confirmation that things are finally going to change. But take a moment. Ask yourself this question without lying to yourself. Are you ready to carry what you're asking for? We often ask Allah to open doors for us. But we forget that not all doors lead to tranquility. Some lead to responsibilities that your heart, your character, or your faith may not yet be able to handle. Allah does not give because you beg persistently. He gives when He sees that what He is going to offer you will not destroy you. Marriage isn't a destination. It's a challenge in which you must be stable, honest, patient, and able to accommodate a soul other than your own. Moving isn't just a change of scenery. It's a new way of managing your balance, your connection to Allah, in a new rhythm, a new society, and sometimes even a new solitude. And you, are you preparing for this? Or are you just waiting for everything to fall into your hands? It's easy to dream of change. It's harder to make yourself internally available to that change. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about being truly committed to working on yourself. Have you purified your intention? Have you begun to correct what is destroying your relationships? Have you put aside the unnecessary distractions that are causing you to lose your spiritual vigilance? Or do you hope that the arrival of this person or this new place will solve everything for you? That's not how it works. Allah gives when He sees that you are not going to use His gift to distance yourself from Him. He entrusts you with a marriage if you are able to make it a place of sakina, not a place of pride, war, or selfishness. He entrusts you with a new place if you are not going to run away from your responsibilities there or fall asleep in negligence. What you're experiencing today, this waiting, these reflections, these discomforts, are building blocks. Every doubt, every silence, every apparent slowness, all of this is working within you, even if you don't realize it yet. You may think it is Allah who is delaying, but it is you who still have to make your life ready to receive. And when He sees that you have understood, when He feels that your heart is sincere, stable, that your faith is strong even without immediate results, then you will see that what you were waiting for will come closer without you having to run. You will not force anything. You will recognize. You will receive. And you will know exactly why it did not happen before. The change you are waiting for is not far off. It begins within you. Then it will manifest around you by Allah's permission. You will love, you will move, you will evolve. But keep this in mind. Allah opens a door for you when your heart is ready to walk through. If this message resonates with you, it's meant for you. Don't ignore this sign. Subscribe for more reminders like this. Share this with someone who is waiting for a sign. And most importantly, stay connected to Allah. He's rearranging everything for you.